Okay, the game crashed, but it luckily saved right away. Oops. Let's not go back in there. It might crash again. Sam Finch. Sam the photographer. Interesting. Why is this cordoned off? Fort Calvin. So Calvin and Sam share a room? I think that's what they said. To command center.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
Okay.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Oh, this is cool.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Okay,
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up.
Uh-oh.
Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Oh. All the way around.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Huh. So we're slowly learning the history of all the Finch family members.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
What about Sam's half? Is there anything I can do here? Nope. Unless I missed something in here. Hopefully the game won't crash. I feel like something should be here. Oh, over here. So this must be sealed. Yeah. Weird.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Okay, I can go 2 ways. So I'm back out in the hallway, okay. What was this from? Did we get in here? Alright, that was the pink bathroom. Did we miss anything in the pink bathroom? I'm just gonna circle around, make sure I didn't miss any of the stories. I guess I can't go that way. Still locked. Yep. Barbara
Growing up,
Finch.
I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Alright. So she died when she was 16. This is cool.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
Ah, it's like Tales from the Crypt. Cool.
As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks.
Aha.
I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Oh, it's even got the icon. Oh, does it want me to do it? Yep.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
That's neat.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
It's gonna be Mike Myers. Doesn't look good.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The Hookman killer. There's the tables. Oh, so that's where Sven cut himself.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh, it was Rick.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
This is pretty great. Look out for roller skate. Just that.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Oh shit.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And funny he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
There's gotta be another way out of here.
Oh, there we go.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groan.
Got him.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Okay. Let's get out of here. I can't leave. He's gone.
Bookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
That's pretty good.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
All right. What's that noise? Okay, I can't leave. So I think what we have to do next is now we know the secret.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Yeah, we can now get downstairs. probably a waste of time, but I'm just want to check out that pink bathroom again because there was someone's name on the outside of the door. We still haven't figured out how to trigger Sam's event.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
I think I'm breaking the narrative here a little bit. That's right. What is going on? Is it just loading? Yeah. Okay, so that was probably a waste of time.
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement.
It's prodding me along. It's going, come on, man. How subtle of a clue do we need? Oh, I don't know what the hell it was, but this time coming into this room, the Sam and Calvin pictures scared the shit out of me. I feel like... Does Sam have an entry? Yeah. Alright, I think I would have seen it by now. I mean...
Maybe I should go check out that music box down in the basement.
I hear you. Dude, some of these pictures are freaking me out. And I'm not expecting them. Those loading times and transitions are weird. I'm playing on the Pro, so... I think that the performance would be as good as it's gonna get. Keep turning. No ear, though. Get to another save point. Sven's workshop.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh, weird. Okay.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
It's like a fallout shelter.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
So here's Walter's story. Well, he's older. Let's check this first.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Can't really look around. Just big me.
Even a monster
Open
on
cans.
the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone.
What the hell?
Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
See what else I can do. No, I can't get past the stool. Okay.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Uh-oh.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
We can get hit by a train?
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 7 more?
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Yeah, I was wondering about the bathroom. I was like, did he get a bathroom down there? So it seems like they just all have a curse of
Maybe
unfortunate
she was
endings.
afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Oops, go down.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
So you just dumped his waste in a giant pit. Alright, I guess we'll go out.
Trying to bury something that's still alive.
So all that monster was the train going by every day.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Okay, there's a path here.
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
Oh, hold on 10 seconds here.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
What are these things? It's like a totem pole.
And the history you're a part of.
What the hell? Can I climb up? Okay, I'm confused. Can I go in here? Okay. I'm just going backwards now, right? Yep, okay. Okay, this shouldn't be that difficult. What's going on? Okay, clearly wants you to go there. The words were right there. It won't let me go any further. Oh yeah, it will. Well, that was dumb. I just I just couldn't get past the rock that was sitting there. Alright, can't go in the water.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
I don't think there's anything over here. Let's go upstairs. Maybe there's something else. Another entrance to the house, maybe from the back side.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Check over
I
here
think
first.
we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Alright, that's where the docky door was, right? Yep.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Oh my god.
3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
So they're all pets, huh?
Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh, what's that?
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Okay, now what?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
What's that?
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
It's interesting. This game is a lot like stuff like Dear Esther, and I played Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, but this has got a lot more going on, a lot more narrative, and a lot more interactivity. Sometimes those other games are just a little too, I don't know. I don't want to say boring, because they're not boring to me, but
looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
I thought her belly was kind of big. Hold on a minute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. So she is pregnant. This game, it's basically, this girl is 17. She's inherited this old house, her old family house. All her family members, or entire family line, is cursed to, like, horrible or early deaths. So we're kind of figuring out, replaying how everyone died. And all the stories are, like, kind of fantastical. They're kind of like tall tales. But it's almost like we're supposed to take them literally. Like the Tales from the Crypt one was, you know, they're all very different tonally.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
So this is the Sam.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Yeah, like it even took place in the comic book. You turn the pages, and sometimes you control the panels. So and that one was kind of like campy and silly and fun, and some of the other ones have been like very serious. So each family member has their own, you know, kind of style and mood. So that's his event. Let's see what else he's got first.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
So that's the sealed door to the inside of the house. Alright, let's do the event. Yeah, the Spider-Man, all the buzz. People are... I haven't heard a bad thing about it yet. I kind of have been staying away from coverage because I'll probably play it, and I figure it'd be best to go in blind. So he's like a photo... Is he a photojournalist or just a photography nut?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm? Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Can I zoom or anything? Oh, nope.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
Oh, there we go.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
So this one is all behind the lens of a camera.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are. Hey!
That's a keeper.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa's Fen taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Let's see.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Oh man, is this gonna turn into a hunting accident?
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up. Great shot, Dawn! I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
What? So I'm controlling the guy now.
Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer.
Oh, I see. So I gotta focus, set the timer, and run.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Oh shit!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
6 more to go. I'm basically just collecting their death stories. See, that one was a lot darker than some of the other ones. Alright, now where? Ah. Another secret passage.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
What is this? Finch control. Oh, there we go. Gregory's the infant, right?
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Uh-oh. Weird.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
I'm controlling the frog.
Hand over, Gregory. It's time to...
He's gonna drown.
Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Oh, you can make him jump.
What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw.
Can we get the whale in there?
Sure made it back.
Oh, almost.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Uh-oh. I can't seem to do anything. Okay. Yep.
I wish
I
I could
figured.
have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
So we still have Edie, Sven, Gus, Milton, and Lewis. Sanjay hasn't come up at all yet, but I saw the grave out there. What's this? Gus.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Climbing wall. Alright, let's get this one out of the way.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
How far can I go? What's that about?
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to
Come here.
But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
There you go.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Katamari Damacy.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Okay.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Those are two back-to-back pretty grim stories, but I wonder if they'll do a sillier one next. Dawn and Sanjay.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
So that's her parents.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
So Milton's the one that they don't know what happened
When
to
my
him.
dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Am I at the top yet? I don't think so. We're getting there, though.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Anything back here? No. Okay, that just goes in and out. Okay, the paintings.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
That's a flip book. Can I go back? No, it just... Yeah, there's been a lot of clever interactions.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
So we don't really know what happened.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Let's go this way.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
Which way do we go? Let's try this way. Yeah, this looks right.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Marijuana and video games.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
Uh-oh, come on.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
What's this? Not sure what I'm supposed to do.
Wander.
Oh, holy crap. So right stick moves the hand, left stick, I'm in like a game. Crazy.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth.
Shit.
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Bats. Bats and toads.
And things that have not names.
Alright, this is difficult doing two things at once.
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Oops.
But he found something more.
Oh wow, looks like I'm playing Diablo now.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him.
Oh, it's starting to take up more and more of the screen.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Hello, doggo.
on the edge of a city he named Lewis-topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery.
There I am.
But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor, and he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Oops. Alright, this will be tough.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
Don't want to hit these rocks.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Oh, it doesn't hurt me. Okay.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Forgot to cut the head off. Go ahead.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Whoa, wait. Beautiful prince or handsome queen? Interesting.
The queen was on her own quest for
the queen would probably want radiant rainbows.
radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her.
Electric sitar. Yeah, we'll do a harp. Too late.
Electric sitar.
Oh, I missed one.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oops. Can't even see the blade anymore.
All in his imagination.
What the hell? Gotta catch up on the fish. What the hell? Oh, hello there.
But he was so proud of having created it.
Sorry, I didn't even see the chat. I can't even concentrate on this, trying to do two things at once.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Uh-oh.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Ooh, wait a minute.
We began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Yeah. Yeah, the right stick part was killing me. I kept falling behind on the fish.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Uh-oh. We'll go up the conveyor belt?
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
I have a feeling he's gonna meet a gruesome end here.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Oh no, it looks like a guillotine. So did he kill himself at the cannery? Stuck his head? Oh,
The rest
man.
I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Damn. That was an elaborate one.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
So, Dawn, Edie, and Sven. And Sanjay. I'm impressed by the variety of different storytelling techniques they use. It's been really good.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Alright, check out this floor thoroughly first. Oh, those are a bunch of packing peanuts.
But I understand why we left.
Yeah, I had no real expectations going into this, but I'm pleasantly surprised.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
So I think we're at the very top. Yeah, this is great. I can just do it in one go.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
It's dark.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Uh-huh.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
Weird, even in the flashback, she wears gloves all the time.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Uh-oh. There's a zoom button I haven't been using. I wonder if it does anything. I don't know. Okay, now I'm completely lost.
I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Okay.
Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot.
Oh.
We both tried to make the best of it.
That's cool.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
About me?
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Can I move?
This journal was supposed to be for you.
Was this the baby?
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
There you have it. That was really good. I kind of feel like I missed one though, or one or two. Because Sven, we didn't see what happened to him. I don't think. Okay. I'm still perplexed a little bit about Milton's story. Like, that was kind of fantastical. Well, they all are, but... Right. Yeah, I saw some of the nodes on that family tree were a little different. Trophy earned. Thanks, Johan. I'm getting trophies for just continuing to watch the credits. Oh, interesting. I'll definitely have to check that out then. I'm gonna have to say I think my favorite story, just because of the way it was presented, was the Barbara Finch one, the Tales from the Crypt style. I'll look it up. Man, they have a ton of environmental detail in like in each of the rooms and everything. I'd love to do something like this in VR. I bet that house would be really cool to walk around. Sam Barlow, playtester. Can you really? Oh, I'd play through it again just to experience it. It's a pretty small dev team, too. Replay a story option is now available. Select Edith to play from the beginning. Okay. Oh, I see. So, yeah, so Sven is tied to Edie's story. Cool. Alright, it's getting pretty late. I might jump in and play a few minutes of... when I bought this, I bought Rain World, which is kind of an old school, really difficult game from what I can tell. It almost looks like, I don't know, it's got like pixel graphics and stuff, but it plays a slug cat, that's all I know. So I'll have to go offline to change games, but I'll be back on in 2 seconds. So, hold on for just a minute.